On this week's show, how to become a millionaire through investing in property.
In the news, we're going to be discussing if there's going to be a property crash after the stamp duty exemption.
And we're going to be answering all your property related questions. Welcome to the Property Investors Podcast. Thanks so much for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe so you never miss an upload. You can catch us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. Enjoy this week's show and don't forget to share it with all your friends. Hey, I'm Russell Leeds.
I am Alistair Cunningham.
And welcome to the Property Investors Podcast. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm good. You don't sound too well. I'm like,
stay away. I'm not 100%. I did take, because we were going to at my kids' sports day, and they wanted us to do COVID tests before we went.
Oh, okay.
So they sent me through a home COVID test thing.
Yeah.
So I took the test yesterday. I thought I'm just interested because I don't feel very well.
Right. Okay.
But I do not fear. I don't have COVID. You're okay.
That's good. So you just got flu.
Apparently there were flus and colds and before COVID existed.
What? No. No shit, Sherlock.
Yep, seriously. It is possible to be ill
and not have COVID.
And not have COVID.
Oh wow.
So you heard it here first.
Do you suffer from hay fever?
No.
Do you know, I'm not a massive... I do suffer a little bit from hay fever, but this year's been absolutely horrendous.
It stopped you from driving, it's been that bad.
No, but it has, actually. But it's... honestly, I'll be just sitting there, doing nothing, outside reading a book or something like that, and then suddenly my nose just starts leaking. And it's honestly, it's horrendous at the minute.
Do you know Marvin?
Yeah.
He's suffered from hay fever for years.
Oh, yeah.
He said this is the first year he hasn't.
Really?
He's changed his diet a bit. So one of the things he thinks it might be that he stopped having any dairy.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough. I don't know what that causes, but...
Because didn't you stop
having
dairy?
Yeah, I don't have dairy. I don't eat
at
dairy.
all?
Very, very rare.
But you still get hay fever?
I still get hay fever, yeah.
So maybe it isn't that then?
No, maybe it suits him, because maybe the dairy has that effect on him. It doesn't... I have dairy probably... I don't have milk. I have soya milk, so I have plant-based milk. I don't have... What else is dairy? Bread, not bread. Cheese. I don't have cheese. Rarely have cheese apart from I did have a pizza the other night.
Well, that's got dairy. So
yeah.
You barely
once.
rarely have dairy.
Yeah. Okay. We'll go with that.
No,
but in fairness, I don't eat dairy that often because when I eat dairy and when I eat wheat, it gives me really bad heartburn. So if I have dairy and then wheat,
so would that be fairly accurate to say you rarely have dairy?
Yeah.
I feel like Eminem.
Yeah.
Have you seen those videos of that guy pretending to be Eminem where he just raps normal stuff?
No.
That's quite funny.
Was that on TikTok or something?
I don't know, but yeah, one of them. Anyway, so this week's show, now that we know that we're both alive.
We're both alive.
Neither of us have got COVID.
I'm sweating because I've just had to walk 3 miles from the train station to get here across one of the most dangerous roads in Beaconsfield.
Why don't you just drive?
Yes, we've had this conversation, alright. So I went to Sea Green and then I walked to to Russell's house, which is 3 miles from Sea Green, and the roads are pretty treacherous and they're all sort of really narrow sort of country roads, and then they're all bendy, and then you get cars coming flying round, and one of them was actually him. And he actually came to pick me up, but he come flying round and jumped on the brakes, and then I'm like, no!
It was quite funny.
It was actually cool. But no, it's all good, man. It's all good, but I don't mind. I look at the positives, okay? So yeah, fine, I can't drive, whoopie-doo. But it means I'm having to get the trains everywhere. So that means I'm actually writing a new book, so it means I can write my new book while I'm on the train. It's really good.
Nice.
And it just gives me a bit more time to do stuff. And people always say when you're on trains you can work. I actually now believe that.
Yeah, it's good.
Especially when you go first class because you get a nice big table and you get a PowerPoint. And it's not even that much more expensive, so...
You wrote whatever it takes. This one is wherever it takes. It talks about which country you should be in.
Wherever the train takes you. It does, yeah.
Which country you end up at when you catch the wrong train.
Yeah.
But no, fair enough. All right, well, so this week's show then, we're going to be talking about being a property millionaire.
Yeah.
First of all, definition of a millionaire versus a property millionaire, or are they in fact the same?
Well, it depends who you speak to, and what.
If you're going to,
but I know, but it depends who you speak to. It depends what definition you want.
Okay, what's your
definition?
To me,
if you're going to call yourself a millionaire, to me, you need to have net assets of over £1 million.
So is there any difference in a property millionaire and a millionaire?
Well, no. A millionaire is somebody that's got net assets that can be anything. They could have classic cars that are the net value is over £1 million. They could have cash in the bank. The net value is over £1 million.
Company worth
Over £1 million. Money in the company, the asset of the company or the value of the company could make you a millionaire. If you're going to say you're a property millionaire, to me that means that the net asset value of the properties need to be over £1 million. If you're going to say I have property, there's a difference between I have properties worth over £1 million to I'm a net property millionaire, in my opinion. But how do you define it?
I think I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people will say if you've got a property portfolio that is worth £1 million, so they're a property millionaire.
Fair enough. But how does that make them a millionaire? Because obviously
it doesn't make them a millionaire. But they're not saying they're a millionaire, are they? They're saying they're
a
property millionaire.
Fine. Yeah. Fair enough. Technically, I'm a property millionaire, but do I have net assets of £1 million worth of property? No, because I've got mortgages on them. It just depends how you word it and how you calculate it and how you deal with it. But what would you say is the fastest route to becoming a property millionaire then?
Well, I suppose it depends on where you're starting from. So,
yeah.
I mean, we've got a...
let me ask you this question.
Go on.
What about the people, there's certain individuals out there who sell and specialise in doing rent-to-rent training. And what they go on about is how they're property millionaires through rent-to-rent. So what do you think of that?
Well, what do I think of it?
Yeah. So if somebody...
Are they claiming the rent-to-rent as an asset?
Yeah. All over their marketing is very much we're property millionaires and we've done this through rent-to-rent. So I'm curious to how that makes them a millionaire.
It depends what they're saying. If they're saying that they have become a millionaire by earning so much money through rent-to-rent, they've now got £1 million.
No, that's not what they say. What they claim in their advertising is they're property millionaires and they specialise in rent-to-rent and their model is rent-to-rent. So they're insinuating that it's made them a millionaire, that they're now net asset millionaires through rent-to-rent.
Well, listen, I don't know who you're talking about, I don't know the situation, but if they're saying that the assets that they are renting are their assets, then that is nonsense.
It's nonsense, isn't it? Yeah, it's just whatever. But look, so the quickest way to property millionaire, do you know what I think it is? And I've not achieved this yet, but do you know what I think it is? What you guys are doing? Land. Land,
yes, but I would say land is kind of at the end, once you probably got to that status.
Yeah.
Buy, refurbish, refinance.
Yeah.
What you're doing now. What you're doing now with your Bedford deal.
Well, look, my Bedford deal. I don't know if you know, but I do have a house in Bedford. It's a buy refurb. It's a really good deal. Bought for 210, refurbs 55. I've had a estate agent go out this morning. He just phoned me literally as I was walking up here. He's been round to view it this morning, and he said he's very confident of a £370,000 value. He's not confirmed it yet. He's going to sit down and do all the numbers today and do all the comparables.
But you put 50 grand into that. It will get you 50 grand back, and you'll have some equity.
Yeah.
That is all you've got. If you just rinse and repeat that, that is the fastest way, in my opinion, to become a multi. It's the buy, refurbish, refinance strategy. That's what it is. Because if you can invest your money into something, pull your money back out and have an investment, right, sitting there, well, that's the way, right?
I'm contemplating at the minute what to do with like Bedford, and I've got another house that I'm contemplating what to do with at the minute, because I'm looking now to move on to doing bigger stuff, as opposed to, because I've done buy refurb, I've done quite a few buy refurbs. I'm looking now to move on to doing commercials and a bit of land.
Yeah.
But to do that, obviously that's next level stuff. Like you guys are there. That's next level stuff. But you've always got to start with the small. Okay, always. And the small takes less money. But I'm going to realise some of my assets, and I'm going to end up with probably £350,000 that I can then invest into big stuff. So at the minute I'm in a bit of a catch-22. I'm trying to weigh up: do I keep the houses and refinance, but I'm still going to leave 25% equity in the houses, and I'll get like probably 150, maybe 200 back? Or do I sell them and get that extra money, and then put that extra money into land or commercial? What would you do?
I would keep them.
Okay.
Because they're cash flowing nicely.
Yeah.
Like your Bedford's giving you like £2,000 a month profit.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Right, I would keep them. And then I would just slowly build. I think you want to be keeping the stuff along the way.
So I do agree, right? So if it's been valued at 370, I'm gonna get. I've already spoke to our mortgage broker Steve Bench. He's put a mortgage application in this morning for the refinance. I should get 277 back. All right. Of that 277, I owe 117 to bridge, and then 52. And then, so I'll make 108,000. I should get
108 grand, and you'll keep the property.
But of that, I've got to pay myself back for the refurb. So I'll probably get I'll probably keep the property and get about 20k back, which is pure profit. However, if I was to sell it, 370, take away the 117,000, take away the 52, I'll get 200k back.
You haven't got to work all that out though. All you got to work out is how much equity you're leaving in the house.
Yeah, so I'll be leaving about over 100k equity in the house. So, about 90 actually.
About 90k equity.
Yeah.
But it's giving you £2 a month.
Yeah, I know. I do know. Listen. I do know it's a banging deal. I know that, but I'm just thinking, can I make that extra 90 grand go further if I do a bigger deal? Like if I do bigger deals, like bigger land deals, bigger commercial deals.
Well, yes and no. Yeah, it depends on what you do. Like it's going to cost you. Let's say you're doing a land deal. It's going to cost you like, and you send all these letters, you do all this time, and then you get an option. It's going to cost you £5 just to do the option fee.
Yeah, no.
Then you might spend 50 grand on planning.
Yeah.
And you might get rejected.
Yeah, no.
And then you're 55 grand in, and you've got nothing other than a load of waste time. So, yes, feasibly, if you could, but I would say personally, do both.
Yeah,
I wouldn't put all your eggs in the one basket. When you've got this that's working.
Because at the end of the day, right, this property in Bedford, I stuck it on spare room last Tuesday night.
It's already right. You haven't got to do anything now if you sold it or whatever. But that 90 grand that you're leaving in is going to give you 24 grand a year. That's over 20% ROI.
No, I know.
On its top.
I know. But I'm getting all my money back as well.
You are? And you're getting all your money back and profit on top.
I know. Listen, I know it's a great deal. Trust me. But so I advertised it on Spare Room literally last Tuesday night, Wednesday night. No pictures, just a description. And I've had loads of people inquire about it. And I viewed it yesterday with 5 people. 2 of them have put applications in. 2 of them were not suitable because I didn't want them in my house. I really didn't want them in the house. And the other person couldn't actually make it because they're coming from Manchester. But I've had one tenant sign up already, and he's paying $775 for like not even the biggest room, like one of the medium-sized rooms.
Yeah.
And he just texts me literally now to say, look, I need to pay the deposit so I can secure this because I don't want to miss out. So it's a great deal. It really is. So I'm going to wait and see what the final valuation is, and then take it from there.
Either way, you're going to get your money out, aren't you?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So it's good. Yeah. Either way, you're going to get your money out. But I would say, if I was starting from scratch, I wouldn't even, unless I had like a couple of $100 grand or whatever, I wouldn't even be thinking about land right now.
No.
First thing I'd be doing is I'd be thinking about, okay, if I'm starting from scratch, got no money.
Yeah.
I need to get myself a pot of money, of savings, so that I can start doing the BRR.
My point, you're missing my point a little bit, I think. What my point was, I'm now 3 years down the line to where a lot of people watching this will be. And I've built that pot up by doing buy, refurb, refinance. And I'm now wanting to go to the next level, that's all. Yeah. So the people, when I started, I'd done buy, refurb, refinance. I've done numerous now. Bedford's the most profitable by far. Most buy, refurb, refinances, you buy for like 50, 60 grand. The ones that I've been doing, buy for 50, 60, you then do the work, you then refinance at like 80 or 90, or you then sell it. I've done quite a few, and this is the one that's going to make a lot of profit. But you don't just jump into doing one that makes you start off small.
Yeah, and you pull your money out, and for some people, just owning an investment property is like a massive deal.
Of course it is, yeah.
You know, the fact that they own something, even if they've only got 10, 15 grand worth of equity in it, just owning it is like huge, right?
Yeah.
So I would say if you want to get to, if you're starting again, or you're early on in your journey in property, number one, you need something to bring in cash flow.
Yeah.
So that could be deal sourcing, rent to rent. You want fast pound.
Yeah, 100%.
And then you want to be investing that. And then, down the line, we're going to land and development. But to begin with, I would say something like a buy, refurbish, refinance. And like Alistair is renting his out as a HMO.
Yeah.
So, which is why you get making such good rent. So we might listen to this thinking, how on earth is making $2,000 from a house that's...
Ironically, all the buy refurbs I've done, this is the first buy refurb I've done into HMO. The rest of them are all single lets. My lease options are HMO. So I've had 4 lease options, and I still have. I have 3 now. I passed one on to somebody else. But the 3 HMOs that I've got now, they're lease options. I've got the option to buy them in 3, 4, and 5 years time. But all my buy refurbs that I've done before, they're all into single lets, making like $550, $650 a month. So they're not making HMO money. But it's again, you've got to start somewhere. I bought one for £28,000. Did you see that woman on Simon's YouTube channel last week? There was a woman on Simon's YouTube channel, right? On his winners on Wednesday. She bought a house in Hartlepool for £24,000.
Oh, I did.
She refinanced it for like 60 or something like that after putting like 10, 15 grand into it. Like, that is absolutely banging.
Yeah.
Like, what a deal. Like, good on her. What a deal.
I know.
And then she's now gone on to buy a few more HMOs and things like that in Hartlepool. So it's just really good. Like, I think I agree with you. Buy refurb, start small, work your way up, and just get there and build your money up over time. Like, don't rush this. Just do it bit by bit.
Yeah, perfect. Well, we've actually got a program coming up called Property Millionaire Intensive, which is a free program. So we'll both be there.
Yeah.
Samuel is going to be running it. So I would highly recommend jumping onto that and seeing what Samuel's strategies are for getting to property millionaire status. I wonder what his definition is.
That'd be interesting.
Be interesting to see what he says. But I'm really looking forward to it. It's a free event. It's touring the UK.
Yeah.
So it's going to be in Cardiff. It's going to be in London, Birmingham, Newcastle, Liverpool.
Let me get the exact locations because
Portsmouth. I've done it.
Is that it?
I don't know. Have a look.
Oh,
I think so.
PMI.
So
where is it? PMI. Okay. Cardiff.
Cardiff, I got, yeah.
Watford.
London, I said, so close enough.
Liverpool, Newcastle,
Yeah.
Walsall. That's it.
And Portsmouth, right?
No Portsmouth.
There's only 5.
Yep.
No, it's in Portsmouth as well.
There's no Portsmouth, mate.
It is, mate. It is. I'm confident.
Nottingham.
Nottingham.
No Portsmouth. We're in Nottingham. So we were in Portsmouth last week actually with Crash Course. So
we were.
It was good fun done. A good crowd. So yeah, it's really good, man. Get booked on. We'll stick a link below. Make sure you're there because Samuel's like honestly, who else in the UK is going to show you this stuff the way he does and the way we do? Just get booked on PMI, Property Millionaire Intensive. We're touring the UK, so you've got no excuse not to come. You can't say it's too far because we're coming to a place near you.
What about if they live in America?
We've got an online version, so do online. Or we're near Heathrow. We're going to be at Heathrow, so you can fly in and then we'll pick you up. If you come from America, I'll personally pick you up from the airport.
There you go. Can't say fair.
No.
Hold on, you can't. You can't drive.
I'll pick you up on the bus at the airport.
With his sign, we're like, right, come on, you better go and stand and get the bus stop.
I'll have a sign.
Sorry, guys.
And I'll walk you to the bus stop, and then we'll go to bus stop number 4. We'll get the bus back to the hotel. Yeah.
There you go. What an offer. That is an offer. If you're coming from America, Alistair will personally walk you to the bus stop from Heathrow Airport all the way to Watford. So there you go. Right, it's now time for this. So in the news this week, we're going to be discussing the end of the stamp duty holiday. So for those of you that don't know, been living under a rock, stamp duty has been put on hold basically for any houses up to £500,000. It's been all over the COVID period and it's seen a big increase in house prices.
Massive, yeah.
Now that ends at the end of June, which is today.
Pretty much, yeah.
So that's gone. Now, there is still some sort of stamp duty holiday, which is basically where they've halved it. So the first 250 grand is going to be stamp duty free up until the end of September. And then after that, it goes back to normal, which is 125.
Oh, so I know they've brought it down from, it was previously 500. So let's just say if you buy it, I mean, how peed off would you be if you're due to complete now, but it gets, because the solicitors are busy, you actually don't complete till the 2nd of July.
Oh man,
that could cost you up to like 8,000, 10,000
you couldn't moan because it was supposed to end in like April or something.
Yeah,
and
they
but
extended
because
it.
of that, they extended it, so you couldn't really moan. But
I know solicitors are really, really busy dealing with this. But anyway, so £500,000 that you buy a property at £500,000, and then next month you have to pay stamp duty if it's above 250. So does that mean, let's say I buy a property at £300,000, or let's say £350,000. Does that mean for the first £250,000 of that purchase price is stamp duty exempt?
Correct.
And then you only pay stamp duty on the 100,000?
Would you say 350?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right, yeah.
Okay, fair enough. And then it's still, listen, it's still good.
Yeah.
It's still like really good. Like the government are pulling the weight to try and regenerate the markets, but obviously we do expect people to start slowing down, because for some people, if they're buying a slightly more expensive house, let's say, what would the stamp duty be on like a £500,000 house? What, about £12,000, £13,000?
Well, the funny thing is,
it depends on your circumstance and if it's your first or second house, but I believe it's about 12,000.
The funny thing is, it hasn't really helped anyone, because all that's happened is the house prices have gone up to. The only people it's really helped are people that have been selling during this period. Because what's actually happened is the house prices have just gone up to match. It's like, all right, you're going to be saving this on stamp duty, so therefore the price has gone up. So I expect they'll either plateau. I don't think they'll continue to go up right now. I think they'll either plateau or dip.
They might dip a little bit because I agree with that. But stamp duty is not something I've ever had to really worry about, because I buy uninhabitable property, so I get a refund from stamp duty anyway. I don't pay it, because you don't pay stamp duty if the property is uninhabitable. And because I buy refurb, refinance, they're generally completely wrecked. So you don't often pay stamp duty. You pay it and then you have to you reclaim it. So it doesn't really affect me really, but. Yeah, it's just interesting. It'd be interesting to see what happens in the next 2 or 3 months.
Because the whole market's been crazy.
Yeah,
so it will affect
100%.
you if the market slows down a bit now, which I expect it will.
Yeah, I do. I think we're going to, and I think we're already starting to see it. We discussed this on last week's show. The markets are slowing down a little bit, and I was speaking to Connell's estate agency this morning in Bedfordshire, because they're going to value my house for me and market it, and if I want to decide to sell it. And they were telling me that they're, like, a month ago, they were screaming for houses. They were selling houses literally within 24, 40 hours of being on the market. He said it has slowed down a little bit now, in the sense of it's taking
people know
a week
now that they won't complete until after stamp duty anyway. So there was a rush, wasn't there?
Everyone was panicking, and as a result, people were just trying to. They were happy to pay that little bit more as long as it completed before stamp duty holiday ended. So look, we'll just have to wait and see what happens. But I actually think it's pretty good news for us as investors, because the markets will stabilise a little bit. Hopefully they'll dip a little bit so we can buy some more assets. Knowing that they will
go back up.
Yeah, they will come back up. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just think we'll have to wait and see, but it's all good. Let's wait and see what happens.
Excellent stuff. All right, well, guys, thanks ever so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this week's show. We'll be back next week, same time, same channel. You can catch us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, all over the place.
Pretty much everywhere. We get around, we do.
You look quite small this week.
I know. I think it's the camera angle. Hold on, is it the chair? Oh no. it's just I'm just a little bit shorter, you know.
And on that bombshell, it's now time to go.
Only in height. Only in height. That's what I meant.
That's not what he meant.
See you guys.